You are watching Soundwave's Soundwave Sunday. Operation Question and Answer. Initiate. Booyah!
Hello Autobots and Decepticons, my name is Soundwave and I'd like to welcome you guys to another Soundwave Sunday. And in this episode I will answer questions from this last week's Soundwave Sunday and a few from the week before. And it's going to be a rather short episode as I want to get back to playing Fall Cybertron campaign, escalation, multiplayer, all that good stuff, and finish the campaign first off for you guys. And then next week we will get into more questions like usual. So if you want your questions answered in these episodes, remember to leave them in the comments below. So at the end of this episode, I will also answer two questions that are coming up quite a bit. So the first question comes from the Game Belt 646. Hey Mungry, do you watch Transformers Prime? If you do, what is your opinion on it? I love it. I think it's amazing. They keep bringing in more variety each time, so it's very, very awesome. And I do not like the little kids. That's the one thing I don't like. I think they're annoying, and I think the Autobots would have won if it wasn't for them a couple times. Alright, next question comes from Grimlock-3135. Hey Mungry, do you know that there is 100 levels in Prime mode? And I saw that there's an unlockable for that, but I do believe there is only one Prime mode that you can enter into, and then the 100 would most likely stand for all your classes being at the level 25, because I saw there was like a 25 one, a 75 one, and maybe there was a 51 too, so that would just be your classes added up. So I'm very disappointed if that's true, because I was really hoping for multiple Prime modes. Next question comes from Eli Jet 2000. Hey Mungry, how many DLCs do you think they will have in Fall Cybertron, and what will be in them? And if you made a DLC for Fall Cybertron, what would be in it? Well, we all know about the Dinobot and the Insecticon DLC, so that's pretty cool. And a couple things that I want in a DLC or a title update, and I think they're very, very needed for this game, are more game modes. I want to see 3 more game modes. I want to see Power Struggle, I want to see Countdown to Extinction, and I want to see Big Team Battle. I feel like more game modes will help the replay value of this game, and it will not get stale over time. And I also want to see more abilities and more guns. Without the use of kill streaks, there needs to be more reasons to use different classes. Otherwise, people are just going to start using the most overpowered class every game, and we're going to see everybody using a certain class every time. And there just needs to be more of this stuff in each of them, because the customization is great and you can customize a lot, but after you play this game for hours and hours and hours, you're going to have your set characters on customization on kind of how you want to play it, and there just needs to be more variety in the actual gameplay to make people want to come back and play multiplayer. And also more escalation maps would be nice, and I was hoping that we'd see like a finishing boss at the end of escalation, like a random one like Megatron, Shockwave, you know, Galvatron, somebody just crazy coming down at the end of escalation, and I thought that would have definitely helped out escalation. So if any of that stuff is still possible, and if High Moon, if you're listening, if that's still possible, I definitely recommend putting that in. I feel like it will really, really help the replay value of the game. Next question comes from Harry09966. Will you help people get better at Fall Cybertron? Because I am only doing good with the Infiltrator. And of course I will. I will give tips and tricks videos, but not until I Prime mode and max everything out so I can learn the weaknesses and the strengths of each class and different playing styles to use them as, because one person may choose to play them a different way as another person. So I will wait on the tips and tricks because I want to make sure and give you guys really good tips and tricks when I do those. Next question comes from Game Master 12345 Mungry, do you think there should be a Dinobot escalation map? Yeah, of course there should be. The Dinobots should wage war against the Insecticons. I think that would be epic. Next question comes from Soved11. Do you know why there stands Shockwave when you transform in Fall Cybertron? That's a good question. That's in everything. That's in campaign, multiplayer, escalation, and I feel like they had it in there for a second and then they got too far into the programming where they couldn't take it away. But it seems like such a simple thing where they could just make it invisible or just lower the opacity all the way down so you can't see it, because I don't really know why that's there. And for new players, like my nephew came in, he's not really into Transformers a ton, so he doesn't know the difference between a lot of characters, and I think I was being Starscream and I was transforming back and forth, and he's like, oh, that's a cool Shockwave. That's what he told me. So I feel like if they can take that out, it would definitely clear some things up for newer players. Alright, next two questions are global questions. The first one is, will you get Fall Cybertron on the PS3? And I will, but it won't be for a few months. I want to definitely conquer everything on the one I have for Xbox 360. I just don't want it to be overwhelming for me between two systems right now. And the last question is, how did you get the name So Mungry? And in all honesty, I do not know, or I do not remember, but I do know bits and fragments from the past. In high school, my friends and I would always say, we are so mungry for something, we're so mungry for this, we're so mungry for that, and I don't know how this came about. I did at one time, I totally forgot. I remember one guy would always say it all the time, and I can't remember exactly how he got it or where he got it from, but then we just all started saying it once, and then after a while, you know, it kind of went away for a little bit. But then when I got my Xbox and I couldn't think of a name for a while, I remember my friend was over one time and he was like, dude, I'm so mungry for this, and we just had a laugh about that because we didn't use it for a while, so I just threw it down for my Xbox Live name. And so here we are to this day with that name still. So it's not really a name, but more or less a phrase. So you guys in the comments or anything, if you play with me on Xbox or PS3, you guys can just call me Mungry. It's a lot easier. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Soundwave Sunday. Please remember to leave your comments in the comments below. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Leave your questions in the comments below, and I will try to get to more questions next Soundwave Sunday. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday.